And as the stage empties, we'll make room for the Aspen Social Action Prize. Starting with the 2015 edition of the Aspen Leadership Gala, Aspen Institute Romania has intended to bring recognition to activities and initiatives that Aspen Fellows and Alumni put forward in creating social and civic change. I invite on stage Mrs. Alina Dumitrașcu, co-founder of Smartastic Lab.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very glad to have the chance to be here, and I'm strongly grateful for being nominated for such an amazing award, Social Action. It sounds so great. Thank you, everyone in Aspen community, for believing in such wonderful projects and for inspiring all of us. When I left my home this evening, my little boy asked me, what is this nomination about? And I told him that it's about doing good, it's about normality, and it's about a dream. And I said that because 1 year ago, I set my mind in order to do something and to contribute to the change that the young children have to have here in Romania. So I am a lawyer, and I think this dream has become reality for me, not just as a lawyer, but also as a mother and as a woman. The first idea and the first step, it was to write a book, and despite the fact that I'm not a writer. So I did my best, and I wrote the first Romanian book for kids, explaining the Romanian constitution through images and games, in order the little one to understand which are the general principles of the rule of law and of the fundamental law of the state. What is the constitution? Play and find out. It was launched this year in June by one of the most impressive publishing house here in Romania. And I think this first idea, first dream, and this first step is very important because on one hand, I'm not a writer, and the publishing house believed in this dream and in this proposal. And I think it's very important for all of us to find the right people to believe in us and to believe in our ideas. And on the other hand, I think in Romania it is now the moment and it's crucial to be very focused on education and to begin with the rule of law and with a focus also in this direction if we want to change the situation and if we want to raise another kind of citizens. I am a mother and I know how much we like to say to our kids fairy tales, but I'm also aware that in order to have the change here in Romania, we must change a little bit the stories and somehow focus our kids, and I refer to small kids in primary school, on true value, on doing good, on honesty, and also integrity. So this was the first step that I made, and I'm glad to say that it was very well received by everyone here in Romania till this moment, and I really hope that every kids will have this book and will play, and they will learn from the very beginning which are the rule of law and which are the principles in a normal society. Then, as you can imagine, the second step, based on the same idea, was Smartastic Lab. Smartastic Lab is an NGO that I founded together with another two great lawyers that are not here in this evening, but it's established in order to promote quality of education, focused on rule of law, and gender equality. Speaking about gender equality, our projects help kids to dream big and to achieve their dreams, being both smart and fantastic in the same time. So this is about Smartastic Lab, being smart and fantastic. And then, of course, we developed the first workshop for kids in constitutional law. And despite the fact that there are few months since we founded this NGO, we managed to enter in schools in Bucharest. And we met around 500 kids and we explained them the constitutional law and the general principles, and I think that it's very important they understand this from primary schools, and I must admit that the feedback was great despite the fact that they are very small. This evening and this nominalization shows us that this first project has a real impact, and we really hope to get in every school in Romania with a book and also with this workshop. I end this short speech saying that we don't have to underestimate the power of education and the power of integrity in a society. Thank you very much, and I hope to enjoy this evening.
Thank you. And it is Mr. Ionut Solenikov's turn. I invite him on stage. He's the founder, board member of Teach for Romania and an Aspen Fellow 2014 to say a few words about Teach for Romania, the second nominee to the Social Action Prize. Good evening.
Thank you, Tudor. Thank you, everyone, esteemed guests. It's an honor to be here to represent Teach for Romania as nominee for the Social Action Prize. So education is what many would call today a hot topic, not only in Romania, but across the world. Not a day goes by when we don't hear about the challenges of education, the difficulties. But let us, in the few minutes I have to speak, take a step back and try to imagine what an alien visitor to the earth would think about our education system, not only in Romania, but across the world. So a foreign visitor, I think, would conclude that the main purpose of education as it is today in Romania and in most countries is to preserve the status quo, to make certain that wealthy children are prepared to continue in the same socioeconomic class, and that poor children have little to no chance to escape the cycle of poverty of their parents and grandparents, and to ensure citizenry that is obedient and restrains from challenging the status quo. So by these terms, if we would evaluate education systems in Romania and in many countries, I think we would say they're quite successful. They achieve these goals. But I think you would agree with me that we shouldn't judge education by these terms. Rather, we should look at education to the degree to which it allows that all children can transform and become active citizens in the modern age, regardless of their history, upbringing, background. And it is this vision and dream that led to the creation of the first Teach For program more than 25 years ago in the United States. Today there are 45 member organizations, each independently run across the world, and they share a common mission to identify and recruit their nation's top talent, to convince these young people to become teachers in low-income schools, to provide them training so that they can succeed in their classrooms, and to support them over the long term as change agents in their societies and educational systems. In short, the Teach For concept is not about what education should be, but rather about who should do the educating. And when I say who, I mean, of course, teachers, but also principals and leaders across the system at multiple levels. So in 2013, I decided to try to take this concept and bring it to Romania. And at the same time, I applied and I was accepted into the Young Leaders program, which could not have come at a better time. The Aspen program helped me and gave me the opportunity to build a network in Romania. I had just returned less than 2 years before. It helped me hone my leadership skills, and it helped me be able to take a step back from the day-to-day of running a fledgling nonprofit and reflect on the good society and what it takes to achieve such a good society. The journey was long and difficult, but today I'm very proud to stand before you as a board member of Teach for Romania, an organization that receives more than 1,000 applications for teachers each year. We currently support almost 70 teachers through 2 cohorts across all of southern Romania who each week work with more than 6,000 children. And more importantly, we support 36 alumni, graduates of the 2-year program, more than half of whom are still in the classroom today, still teaching. And of the other half, almost all are still involved in education, in the nonprofit sector, or they've been hired by Teach for Romania as mentors to the upcoming generations of teachers. There is still, of course, a lot to be done. Our ambition is to grow these numbers, to become national, and to one day provide from our network of alumni an education minister, or why not a prime minister, of course supported by a capable team of Teach for Romania alumni. So I would like to thank the Aspen Institute and its supporters for creating the Young Leaders Program, which helped me at a very important part in the early phases of Teach for Romania. Thank you.
And our third nominee is Mr. Robert Ion, Head of Fundraising, Hope and Homes for Children Romania, Aspen Alumnus 2017. And his project is Transit Home for Vulnerable Youth Leaving Orphanages by Hope and Homes for Children Romania.
Good evening. We're talking now about Hope and Homes for Children and the main mission, which is to support institutionalized children and children at risk of being separated from their families. And this is a nice evening, but I would like us to think about a couple of statistics. Primarily, I don't know how many of you know what is the food allowance per day for a child in institutions today in Romania. It's 16.6 lei per day per child. What we don't see, we most often don't know. 16.6 lei per day is not enough. And to transition into what is the topic of this evening, the transit center that we built up in Baia Mare, annually, approximately 4,000 young adults, ages 18 to 26, exit the child protection system virtually with no skills for independent living. We're all professionals here, and we're thinking about maybe they don't have a resume. Maybe they need to polish their resume. No, they exit the child protection system with a couple of more stringent questions. Where will I live, and what will I eat, are those basic questions. The transit center that we built up in Baia Mare responds to that question. It is a center that we built between September 2015 to September 2016. It is a center that has 19 one-studio apartments, which is to say it can house 19 young adults exiting the system. Children, young adults, I keep referring them to as children, but they're young adults. They can live there between 6 to 24 months, during which time we give them counseling and we give them direct financial support so that they get the skills that they need to start an independent life. Maybe it's not enough time, 24 months is not a lot. Many of us get that education in our families, but it is something that we need to start with. Compounded, not only that we don't have enough, actually the reason why we had to build this transit center and the reason why we need transit centers like this one is because 2% of our homes are social housing at this point. And we should know the average for Western European countries is anywhere between 10 to 12%. We're at 2% at this point. That's why this project is so important. And compounded, there's a severe lack of central and local support so that these young adults have a chance for independent life. The total, some of us are here from business and we need to talk about money as well. This project at this magnitude is not something that happens overnight. We're talking about a total investment of 2.1 million lei. It was not easy to get the funding, but again, it's a project that deserves all the funding that it gets. We're looking at these projects from the lens of sustainability. Hope and Homes for Children has been doing this work since 1998. We wouldn't have been able to do this level of work without looking through all the projects that we're involved with the lens of sustainability. Like all infrastructure projects that we're building, this one too has been donated to the local administration. The fact of the matter is that it's not the job of any one NGO to change what's happening with underserved children in this country. It is the job of the state. What we can do as an NGO is to show proof of concept. This is what we have been doing since 1998. Now, I was telling you that the transit center, we opened it up in Baia Mare. It's already 1 year old now. 21 young adults have passed through the transit center and have benefited from its services. From the success stories that I can share with you, I can tell you that 2 of them have found work abroad. Many more have found jobs in Maramureș and in neighboring counties. For me, there's no question that we need projects like this one to move forward and we need to multiply them. In fact, we have another transit center as part of our strategic plan. We're going to build another one up in Botoșani by 2020. So thank you to the Aspen community for being open to listen about what we do and to support underserved children. Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to invite on stage Mr. Roberto Musneci, board member of the Aspen Institute Romania.
It's all in here. But as I say, there is no such a thing as a free lunch. There is no such a thing as a free prize. So you will have to bear with me for a couple of considerations. First of all, I would like again to thank our president, Mr. Joanna, and the board for having allowed me to present this award, which I feel very, very strong about. If you like, whether you're developing a program for gender equality or to teach constitutional law to children, I think it was a bright idea, and the rule of law, or whether you ask young graduates to spend some of their time in teaching younger students so that they can really understand that actually investment in education is by far the best investment we can make, or if you develop a system by which you transition children and young adults coming out of the children support system, children protection system, into an active life, the common denominator of all these 3 initiatives is basically you are bridging an opportunity gap. Actually, I'm personally very much of an egalitarianist in terms of opportunities. I think we should strive to provide, or at least to try to provide, equal opportunities as much as we can. Because that is essentially what ultimately would widen and deepen civil society. That's what will give depth and breadth to our democracies. And I feel that in this respect, these programs and this widening and deepening our civil society structures and debate is the ultimate dream and quintessential feature of Aspens, not only in Romania, but Aspens all around the world. So actually it was very difficult, I guess, for all those who casted a vote for these awards to decide which one was the best, because they all share the same ultimate objective. You're contributing to bridging an opportunity gap, you're contributing to build a vibrant civil society, and I'm so proud of awarding this prize. Unfortunately, there's only one winner. The only thing I can say to the other 2 is that you would deserve to be on this stage pretty much with the same merit of the winner. But life is what it is, and therefore we announce the winner, which is, I know it, but I'm making a little bit of a Smartastic Lab.
Smartastic Lab în Dalina Dumitrașcu.
Thank you very much. I was not expected. I don't know why, maybe because because this is the idea of Smartastic Lab, to promote this gender equality and to empower the women to be sure that they will win and not to be in this situation. Thank you very much. We are 3 lawyers with a big dream, and this nominalization and also this prize show us that everything is possible. And I really hope that with the help of this prize to enter in as much as schools in Romania as we can, and maybe to change something. Thank you a lot.
Alina Dumitrașcu, congratulations. Mr. Musneci, thank you very much.